This is my 2011 BMW 535i xDrive. This is my second F10 chassis. I absolutely love the F10 chassis for many reasons. Love this car as well, but this one is very different from my last one. My last one was a 550i twin turbo V8, and maybe the most important thing about it, it was an MSport model. This is not. This does have the single turbo twin scroll inline 3-liter N55 engine, and that's what I wanted. This is currently in my daily. Don't want to do very many mods to it at this point until I get my N54 back on the road, but this is not an MSport. What is an MSport? An MSport is, it's got quite a bit of different stuff to it. Aggressive styling by far is one of the most noticeable, especially the front bumper. As far as functionality goes, this doesn't have any sport modes on it. It's just got, there's no selector switch or anything for it. So we're going to change that. So in this video, we're actually going to add sport mode to this vehicle, the switches and everything. Now, the sport, yeah, the selector switch, that requires some modifications, but super simple modifications, and the wiring and ends that you need are all at FCP Euro. I'll have everything linked down in the description below, so let's get to it. Alright, so number one, you're going to need a switch. I went on eBay. Every car is different. Mine has the parking sensors with a rear view camera and hill descent, so I had to make sure that the switch that I got had those two buttons. And then obviously the rest of it, mine doesn't have this currently. It's just got the traction right there. So this one, sport normal switch, eBay. I think I paid $50, maybe $40 for it. Next, this is from FCP Euro. Like I said, links will be in the description below, as well as the instructions for this as well that I found on a forum. Now, wires and pins that are already connected, FCP Euro, they're part number 6113-000-5197. You're going to need two of them. Those come, like I said, pre-wired already. And then the pin out ends on the other side, you're going to need two of those as well, and those are 6113-1383776. This lead, the one end, already has the pin on it. Focus. There we go. It already has the pin on it. Now, on this end, you need to strip this and then crimp the other pin on it. If you don't have a pin crimping kit, I would suggest getting one. Ordered mine off of Amazon pretty cheap. Alright, so you want to pick up a pair of these. I think I got these off of Amazon. We're using this one, and then the lead that's already terminated on the one end. So basically, you want to strip off just enough wire there on this end and crimp it in there. So your first crimp there is going to be all your copper. Second one is going to wrap around the insulation. Yeah. That's all you do. Slide it in there, pinch it together. And then the other ones, just the, like I said, the second set, just wrap around the insulation. So just like that. Finished product. Now I'm going to do that to the other side. Be good to go. Alright, now we're down to the car, out to the car. So disconnect your negative terminal, 10 millimeter. And then we can come into the car, and now that the battery is disconnected, you're definitely going to need a light. But, so, let's see here. This thing is supposed to just pop out. Yeah, just like that. There's two torques down here. We want to loosen those up to give this a little mobility, because that module right there, the connector in the front, that's one of them that we need to get to, and apparently it's very difficult unless you loosen these up. So these are a T, I don't know, something. I'm just going to grab one of my Torx bits, loosen those two up, and then we'll move on to the front. Alright, so full disclaimer here, I don't know if this lead is going to be long enough, you know what I mean? I didn't think about that. But it's going to have to, it looks like it is, but it's going to have to connect from your new switch back here to that module. So I got those two bolts loosened up down there. Now we've got to pry this bad boy up. Man, this thing is dirty.
And then we're gonna pry this front piece up. That's gonna reveal a couple of Torx bits, and we'll get this piece out of the way. Well, you can pry all you want. You get this side up, but you got a little Torx bit down there. So you better take that bad boy out of there. There. And then chip crumbs go flying everywhere. Unplug my radar detector. And then so these two I'm gonna unplug here. Those are for the switch, the old switch, because we need them unplugged anyway. And these should just wiggle out, but it's never that simple. Yeah, I'll come back to you. Current state, LED light here. It unplugs down here on this harness, and then your iDrive controller unplugs right there. These guys just slip right out of your old switch that you're going to be switching out. And then you can leave everything up front tied in and just kind of flip it up. We will be next removing this switch. And then down here we have another itty bitty Torx bit that we have to take off so we can lift this tray out. And to get the two little teeth here, just pull those back for your cover. That's all it is. And then you can get this, just push that out of the way like that. And then down here, that's your other connector that we need to tap into right there. I don't know how good you can see it, but so the reason why we loosen up the bolts in the back is this connector is, I guess, a bear to get out. So it's one of the slide connectors. So you just push down on the little tab. Yeah, one-handed life. And then slide it down, and then you can disconnect it. I'm gonna play with it and see how bad it is, and then I'll update y'all. All right, see if you can see. Well, so I took the bolt out, and then I put a wedge underneath it here to lift it up. What that does is clear enough space for you to get this connector out. Okay. Now, next thing you got to do is there's two little tabs at the very end, and you'll see them when you get in here. You just kind of pull those out, and then this cover slides off, just like that. And then you can reveal your pins. You just remember, obviously, which way it goes back on, and it probably only goes on one way. If you read the ends, it'll tell you where to put them, and you need pin 31 and 45. 31 is going to go up here to pin 5. And 45 is going to go to pin 4. So these are obvious. They're 1, 2, 3. So you're going to put in 4 and 5. But yeah, you're going to have to read this and figure out which ones are, because there's 3 rows. So they're labeled at each end. You can figure it out. No big deal. But 31 and 45. And then that's where you want to stick your pins in here. And then when we stick our pins in here, we have to... There's a little cover on this. We just pop it up, and that allows our pins to go in. And then we pop that cover down, and it secures them. So that's what I'm going to do next. It's not going to be very hands-on with a camera just because it's tight, but I'll get it in there, and then I'll cover it with you guys. All right, super important to watch this whole video before you actually do this. This top connection slides all the way out, so you can separate the two. You need to slide this all the way out, or else your pin for 34... was it 35, 34, 31 won't slide in if this is connected. So I've got my 31 there, and I have the other end labeled right here, 5. And then 45 is in the top. I started at 37 on the one side, went over to 45, as easy as that. So now now these just slide back together, okay? So I'm gonna put this plug back together, throw the cover back on, and then we will swap that switch out and pin that plug and test it. All right, guys, next step up is the swapping out the switch to see if this works. Now, I am not gonna lie, make sure your pins are in there correctly all the way, or else this cover won't snap back on correctly. If it doesn't, you got a problem. Pull your pin back out, make sure everything's snug. In my case, the crimp at the very end around the insulation wasn't small enough, so it wasn't allowing it to slide in all the way. So I got that done. But this damn plug was the hardest thing. It took me 20 minutes at least trying to fiddle around, trying to line that thing up to get it back in there, but it's in there. So now I'm gonna flip this switch. Flip this. Wow. Okay. I am gonna switch out this switch to the new switch, put everything back together, plug in the battery, and test it. All right, y'all. I have everything back together, ready to test. Welcome back. It is a year and a half later, and I might just finish this project today. All right, so I believe I started video recording the upgraded steering wheel with the paddle shifters, and then went into Bimmercode and actually coded those in. That was super easy. Now, the Sport, my car did not come equipped with that, so I had to wire it in, and you saw all that. I hope I still have the footage anyway. But you saw all that, hopefully. Now I have to code the car, and you cannot do it with Bimmercode, so I'm going to use E-Sys. So, number one, there's not a lot online for this. A couple of forums, and one shoddy at best YouTube video. I've got the write-up on my phone, so I'm gonna try and follow it step by step, and we'll see what happens. So, first thing, get rid of my MHD adapter, and then I've got this cool little cable. All right, so the Ethernet did not work on its own. I had to plug it into the adapter, into the USB-C, and then my computer loaded everything and installed the driver. Now I'm gonna go ahead with the procedure, hopefully. I totally forgot to plug my battery tender in, so you definitely want to do that. Close all your other programs. You get that little warning there. And we're gonna go up here to connect. And now I actually have stuff here. So we want F10. So right there, and then we want to do the VIN, and then we click connect. All right, it says connection is established. Okay. Then it tells me to select expert mode. Click on the coding title. So that would be right there, I think. Tile, not title. In the vehicle order box, click the read button. This will display the car's FA. Okay. So read, click on the save button. Create a file, name it, and save it. Create a file named SAT. Click the edit button. Bam. Okay, so now it switches to the FA editor. Expand the FA list folder on the left until something appears. Yeah, there we go. This guy right here. Until that appears. First, we are going to delete 205. And then we're going to add 2TB. It looks like after 2HM. Okay, so 2, and then TB, comma. Click on the Save Changes icon in the upper right-hand corner. So that would be this. So on mine it doesn't say Save Changes, it says Apply Changes. Okay, done. The edited FA must be verified before it can be written to the car, so right-click on the FA and select Calculate FP. Right-click, and then Calculate FP. No FP could be generated from FA, unknown something or other. If the FA has any errors, an error pop-up will be shown. After FP is calculated without error, save the new FA. Alright guys, well that was a process in itself. Just learning how to use this program is challenging. So, that being said, I didn't have files that the program needed to find my car, but I guess I do now. try and get back into it. All right, I re-downloaded the PZ whatever data files, some different ones, and apparently that fixed it because I right-clicked and went to calculate FP, and it did it. So then I clicked the save button here, and then good to go. So now it tells me to go back into expert mode. And then click on VCM tile. Right here. Load the saved FA file. So you want to go down here and click your saved file, which I have a couple of them now, but and then number 2, go up here and you want to calculate it one more time. And everything looked okay. Select the VCM master tab right here. Click on the right FA FP button. Alright, so apparently now we need to do read VCM. Yeah, I thought it was recording. So you have to code this new FA into 4 ECUs, the EGS, which I already did, the GWS, which is what I'm doing now, and then Combi, and then ICM. So I'll show you how to do that as soon as this one's done. Hit close, and then we're going to go down to Combi and do the same thing. Well, the ICM needs it too, but I'm going to go in order just because of this list, so I make sure I got everything. Hit code. Close, and then back up to the ICM. This is ICM QL, so I want to make sure there's not another one. No. Okay, ICM. Close, and then, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's it. Okay. I think that's it. Well, let's hope it's it. All right, guys. Well, I did it. It was scary as crap for me doing it because I've never dealt with that before. I've done Bimmercode, MHD, but nothing like that where you really kind of don't know what you're doing. There's not a whole lot of information on exactly how to do what I did, but a lot of people just want to put the Sport Plus option up there if they didn't come with that. Well, I didn't have my Sport rocker switch at all, so I ordered this on eBay, installed it, and then I had to go in and do that. And there you go, you can go to Sport. It has it down there as well, where you go up to Sport Plus and turns your traction off. And then you can hit Sport Displays. Yep. Of course, I've got to get those switched back over to USA. It reset some stuff on there when I flashed it, but it is. I'm going to take her for a test spin, but this is great. All right, guys. This video has been 1.5 years in the making, but I am super glad I finally got it done. Just kicking over that gear selector into the sport mode for the transmission didn't do it all. There's something to this Sport and Sport Plus mode that just really react with the car really, really well, and I'm super happy with it. If you got any questions, reach out to me. I'll try and walk you through it. That, again, not liable for anything that happens if you brick your ECU or whatever. But, yeah, just really do your research and before you pull the trigger. Again, that's why it took me 1.5 years. I didn't even have the right PSD PZ, whatever in the hell, data files. But that's why you calculate it first, and it tells you. So anyway, rambling. Long story short, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully this video helped you guys out like it did me. My own video helped me out. No, rambling again. Till we meet again, guys. Later.